after school. Worked till 9.
You have a car out there?
I worked here since I was 6. Swept or helped customers when I was young too. At the end of the day, grandpa or dad would give us their pocket change. Spent a lot of late nights in here too, especially when we were building it.
I generally arrive here about 7:15 in the morning, and I unlock the door. I come in and turn the lights on, and I get the day money for each drawer in the registers, and I open up the registers. And usually at that time, Tom is here. Tom goes ahead and kind of tidies up the front of the store and sets out the American flag and the benches for our customers to sit on. And a lot of times the Amish fellows on their way to work will stop here for things that they need for their day's projects, and they'll come up and get plumbing or electrical supplies, or a lot of times sporting goods. We have a busy sporting goods division.
John has been preparing for it, trying to change stock and inventory, keeping in mind basically to stay with service. You can't compete in one area. We're going to stay with something that is not offered or that you can do.
Well, I've probably been shopping here for 32 years or so. All my needs that I needed for hardware.
The mass merchandisers, to a great extent, do not provide excellence in service. I'll use Walmart as an example, and you're really lucky if they have anyone in.
I think you could just, like, on the thing, like, you can drop the thing. On the bottom, you can drag that piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing has a plane in.
Challenges, because I just had my.
And then when I took them to the doctors,
It just makes it really difficult to have.
you know, I had
I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw.
They don't get it. When we start talking about quality of life, they start talking about cheap underwear. I keep saying, you can't buy small town quality of life at a Walmart. They don't sell it. But once they steal it from you, you can't get it back at any price.
I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of the diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was
We
calling.
thought it was the most fantastic thing in the world. Walmart. I mean, it was like they had bestowed some great honor on the community, and we welcomed them literally with open arms. We could not say enough good about them, could not do enough for them to help them come.
When Walmart first made the decision to come here, you could come to town on a Saturday evening and not find a parking place anywhere. I came to downtown home.
Wouldn't eat, and we weren't allowed to offer them any money. And there were people I see that didn't eat nothing. They'd take an hour lunch and just sat there.
We have full-time employees that worked at Walmart.
My mom's insurance plan is a local grocery store. They provide enough for their families to live decently.
It was just impossible.
It's really awakened the west side of our town. Walmart was a great thing for our community. It's really awakened the west side of our town.
I think Sam often would tell us, just as he did before he passed away, that the number one thing in this company is our associates. And we've got stores that aren't treating associates as well as they should be treated.
And, it's a community college. I didn't have much for anything else. I was doing really well. I had a 4.0 average. But life happens. My dad goes sick, my mom got sick, and things happened and it just didn't work out the way I thought it was going to.
Right.
When I started working there, I had so much pride in my job. I did. I didn't mind being there when they needed me. I didn't mind doing, I knew that we were short-staffed. At that time, I didn't know it was a purposeful thing, that that's their intention.
They had stacks like this of applications in the back. They just didn't hire them.
Right.
And then we're told, we don't know what to do. We don't have the people. We don't have this. We don't have that. And I really did at first. I was really, I felt bad for them. It was like, oh, okay, I'll give you an extra hour here. I'll give you, I'll come in early tomorrow. Okay, I won't take my day off.
Always having to stay late. You're supposed to work till 11, you get till 12, 12:30.
Keep the number of associates from being full-time as many as you can, keep them as part-time as much as you can, and just keep reducing that expense.
The company doesn't allow the stores enough payroll dollars on their budget to get this job done, and the job is enormous. This company is rolling in the, raking in the dough in the sales. I mean, my store alone did over $100 million in sales the year that I left.
Having to get up with the kids, getting them out to school after 4 hours sleep.
They don't care about what you sacrifice. It doesn't matter how many people lose their families. It doesn't matter if the associates have good health care. It doesn't matter anything other than what the bottom line profit is for that store that month.
It just makes it really difficult to have a good family life at Walmart.
You know, if you squeeze every dime out of them, you go for it. And it doesn't matter what happens to their families. If they fall apart, they get sick, you know. The hell with them.
We're troubled by the fact that there are people who work full-time, who in fact cannot provide enough for their families to live decently.
It was just impossible for me to pay my bills and pay for daycare and work.
You should have plenty of time to go into the office.
The money that I did get went right back into Walmart. I get my check, have it deposited, go shopping. When I first started Walmart, I had my kids on the Walmart insurance. It got to the point where it just was too much for me to handle. I just couldn't afford it. I'd have to pay my premiums at work, and then when I took them to the doctors, I still had to pay. I always had to pay a chunk of money.
I'm proud of the fact that we have the benefits that we have and that we have the wages we have.
People that's making $7 an hour that has to go to a doctor, they're not going to be able to meet that deductible.
And I have an 18-month-old baby, and he didn't have any kind of insurance. When he was sick, I would have to try and fix it myself, like get the medication myself. If he had to go to the doctor, I would have to take him and pay it as I could.
Sam Walton believed that it was inappropriate for an associate with illness in the family to have to worry about how were they going to survive the financial impact.
I was under my mom's insurance plan with a local grocery store that she works for, and any prescription it was, didn't matter what it was $5. And now at Walmart, for that one bottle of pills, I'm paying $70.
But I can't afford to put my children on the Walmart shirt because it's too expensive. There's no way I can afford to have $75 taken out of each check just for medical. That's why, because I'm such low income, I am able to get the Medicaid for the kids through Colorado State.
But they're a billion-dollar corporation, so I don't see why they cannot offer a better medical package for their associates so that we can afford to get our families on insurance.
You start weighing, okay, he's sick, we eat. Which one do we do? Well, let's give him an aspirin.
No matter what anybody says, they're at poverty level. I watch so many people go without lunch in the lounges that I stopped eating in the lounges because I just had my managers eating there because I just couldn't stand it. They just wouldn't eat, and we weren't allowed to offer them any money. And there were people I see that didn't eat nothing. They'd take an hour lunch and just sat there.
We have full-time employees that worked at Walmart, and they had medical, but the medical was so high, so they had to go out and get Medi-Cal, some type of government medical.
While I was working at Walmart, I was on WIC. It's an excellent program. It saved my life, really, because you got all the formula, and cereal and stuff you needed for the baby. And I also went to the Medicaid office. It can be a real hassle having to deal with the offices, but, you know, at least they're there. I'm thankful for the programs that are available, you know. It's not a fun situation. It's demeaning. I always heard people say, you know, oh, they're just, you know, there's so many people who just use the system, use it. I can't imagine that, because there is no way I would want to spend any length of time having to do what you have to do to get assistance.
You talk about using the system. Look at the way Walmart is using the system. They're promoting people to go to Healthy Kids and to get food stamps and Section 8 housing, and they're the ones that are using the system.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you need to tell your employees that all these programs are available for you because we're not paying you enough money.
Retail giant Walmart is encouraging its workers to go on welfare.
Instead of paying for its employees to have health benefits, she says Walmart is making the government take care of it.
In Florida, Walmart has more employees and family members eligible for Medicaid than any other company. Critics accuse the retail giant of using Medicaid and state programs for the poor as its health care plan.
This report from UC Berkeley researchers concludes Walmart costs state taxpayers $86 million a year and county taxpayers as much as another $25 million to pick up the tab for public health care, income tax credits, housing subsidies, and food stamps.
Evelyn Dees used to work full-time for Walmart, but didn't have company health care benefits. She literally couldn't afford to pay for it, so she turned to government assistance.
What the public doesn't understand is that those everyday low prices are based on taxpayer subsidies. Walmart is getting away with it because they can.
I talked to the regional personnel manager about who was going to take care of Walmart associates and their health care needs. And he said, let the state do it.
Well, the personnel manager told me personally that there's assistance out there for people. They should be able to go use it. Use your taxpayers' dollars.
I had a list of all of the government agencies and all the different places that people could go if they needed money for their utility bills, if they needed to apply for food stamps, or if they needed to apply for WIC or for Medicaid.
So your dignity is not there, your pride is not there. You go to work knowing that you're not making enough money to really make ends meet, but yet you gotta go with a smile on your face and fake it. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Come up with some type of health care that a full-time person can afford and don't have to put on the scale health care or feed my family.
Why is that a corporation that in 2003 had an outstanding $240 billion in sales would not provide a livable wage and affordable health care for their employees?
There's nowhere around that there's a company that makes this much money and it still turns around and makes their associates go to the state for aid.
Well, I think my company takes family very seriously, and they'll help you achieve anything you want. The possibilities are absolutely endless at Walmart.
That get started in this company and the difference it makes in people's lives. But most importantly to me, jobs that come with opportunity for personal development.
When I first started working at Walmart, I was still in high school. I didn't have any plans to go to college later on. You know, the people I was working with were just so nice, and I just thought that was awesome.
My job function as a tire express technician is performing an oil service, doing tire changes, battery service, stocking the inside shelves, writing up work orders, which is greeting the customer, running the cash register, reading people out, for just groceries that they bought throughout the store. and they want it all done at the same